Well, all right. Welcome back to Life with Nana. I'm Nana, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. This morning I got up and I cleaned out the refrigerator, and I found some things that I need to do something with. The first thing we're going to get going on is I found this tub of blueberries. They're still good, but they are getting a little bit soft. I also found in the freezer some waffles. So I thought, well, I'll just make some blueberry syrup, or it'll probably turn out more like a thin blueberry preserve. And we'll put that over our waffles. So I thought that sounded pretty good. This is a great way to use up fruit that you buy and you really don't know what to do with it, because you could put this in the freezer after you get it cooked and it'll be just fine in there until you're ready to use it. All right, so I have about a cup of sugar, and we're going to start out with about half that amount. Well, I poured a little more than half, but we'll see. We'll taste it and see. The blueberries are not that sweet because they are store-bought. And I also am going to add just a touch of water to this, and I'm just going to put this over on the stove on low and let it be going while we're doing the other projects that we have today to use up what's potentially could go bad in our freezer. And why not go ahead and make things with them so that we can have them in the next few days, or we can have them in the freezer and we won't have to worry about it. So I'm going to set this on the stove and I'm going to put it on low so that I don't have to worry about it too awful much. And we're going to be going over there in a minute, so we'll see how this is doing. The blueberries over there on the stove. I've got my oven preheating to 400 degrees because I found in the refrigerator some sliced smoked hog jowl. So we're going to put that in the oven and let that be cooking, and it'll be wonderful. If you wonder what I'm drinking this morning, I'm drinking a little bit of hot chocolate because I also found a half a gallon of chocolate milk in there, and I thought I need to really use that up. I washed my hands before I turned the camera on because I was wanting to try to clean up the kitchen. And I always like to unload the dishwasher and, get everything kind of cleaned up so that you don't have to worry about, as you're doing, you can just put the dishes in the dishwasher. All right, so this is what hog jowl looks like. This is relatively thin, so I'm not expecting this to take very long in the oven. We're just going to put this on here. I'm hoping I can get it on one pan, but it may take two. I could have just chopped this up and fried it up and had it for other dishes, but I decided I would do it this way today. Get it cooked up. So Papa usually eats a breakfast sandwich or something like that in the morning. I typically eat a banana, and then I'm not really all that hungry until lunch time today. All right, so it looks like we're going to have another pan. All right, so I have my foil lined baking pan, and I have, hard for you to see that there, but I have a little rack that fits just perfectly in this, and I'm going to put the rest of this bacon on this. This bacon shouldn't take long at all to cook because it's very thin. Well, it's hog jowl. It's not bacon. It's not called bacon, but it tastes like bacon. Here in the South, and probably other places too, I'm not sure, we tend to have hog jowl around New Year's with black eyed peas, and you saw that video. All right, so let's get this one in the oven as well. Thing I found in the refrigerator uh, from the other day when we made the fried pies was uh, what I had left of the filling for the savory pies. And so I went ahead and I picked up some egg roll wrappers. And we're going to fry these up and we're going to let them cool, and then we're going to probably put them in the freezer, and then you can get them out and put them in the air fryer, and or we may just leave them in the refrigerator for a few days and see if if we get them, if we use them up. So it's pretty simple. I have another sip of this cocoa. I'm starting early today. So I went ahead this morning and I put some chicken in the crock pot. So we're trying to accomplish as much as we can as we're in the kitchen. And I was trying to make room in my refrigerator back here for some things that I needed to put in there. And I thought, there is just so much stuff in here that I need to do something with. That's what brought me to the idea of doing, let's clean out the refrigerator, and see what we can make with it. And you may not think it's worth it, but if you can get a couple of extra meals, you can stretch your grocery budget. You can have something delicious and homemade ready to go. I think that's totally worth it. So, okay, the hog jowl is cooking up really well. So let's get going on these egg rolls. And I have a pan here that I'm just going to fold. As I fold them up, I'm going to put them in there. Now, I am not, it's been years since I've used these. So we're going to see how this goes. And to me, the problem with you're trying to save some of the leftovers is you wind up with leftovers like this. But if we have leftover egg roll wrappers, then I will make up something that I can use it for. I won't let these go bad. Okay. Now I have some ricotta cheese here, and I have the filling. This filling has ground beef, ground pork, bacon. It has potatoes and onions and carrots and cabbage, and some onion salt, garlic salt, all those kinds of. I've got water around my edges, and move this where you can see. We're just going to fold the two ends over, and then we're going to kind of tuck these sides in. And as we roll this, we're going to kind of, see, I told you, I broke the end off of it. That's okay. What we'll do is stick it right back on there. We'll get better as we go. Not great. Hopefully the next one will be better. All right. This is what the hot jowl turned out looking like. All right, let's get our eye turned on. And we've got our blueberries back here in the back, and they're just cooking away. I'm gonna give those a taste. Let's see, I just want to taste the juice to see if it's sweet enough. Plenty sweet. Those will be good. And as we're stirring these, we're just going to kind of mash these down. And we just want them to cook down. And then we might take our immersion blender and kind of blend them up and make like a syrup out of it. In this pan, I have vegetable oil, and I have a little bit of olive oil because I didn't have enough vegetable oil. So we're just going to fry these up, and we're going to put them on the pan that the bacon was on. I think that's going to be just fine. And we're going to see how they turn out. All right, so what we're looking for is just to get the egg roll wrapper nice and brown. All right, so we're just going to put these in here. My oil wasn't quite hot enough, so we're going to heat it up. You can see it's starting to bubble there, but it needs to be a little warmer than that. So we're going to give it just a few more minutes. All right. We're going to go ahead and put these in. You want to give them room around each one. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And some of my wrappers tore. That's okay. We're not looking for perfection here. This is real life home cooking. So we're just looking to get these cooked well. You can see along the edges that they are getting done. They are getting cooked well. Oh yeah. Let's get this little, see how nice and brown that is? Isn't that pretty? Right. I think these are going to be good. Okay, my oil is hot now, so I'm going to turn it down just so fuzz. I'll keep stirring my blueberries back here. Sometimes it helps to move it around because sometimes one part of your eye is hotter than the other. So move them around just a little. Okay, I think this one is done. We're going to pull that one out. Look at that, how wonderful. These are looking wonderful. All right, I think these are done. It's a little longer. My blueberries I'm going to cut off. Okay, so instead of putting these egg roll wrappers in my refrigerator and just letting them sit in there, I decided I would just go ahead and make up some chicken filling. And so that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to put these together. I'm going to show you one. I won't bore you with a whole lot of them, but we'll do one. And then when I go to fry them, I'll bring you back, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is wet the edges. And we're going to take some of our filling. And just like before, we're going to fold the two ends in. And we're going to fold these kind of in back here. And then we're going to just roll this pretty tightly. And try not to tear it like I just did. But that's okay. It's going to fry up just fine. Let's do one more. And maybe I won't tear it. My granddaughters came down and ate several of the other ones. So I think we wound up with 9 or 10. And I had one, Papa had one, and they had 2 each. And so that means they were good. I got 3 left or something like that in the refrigerator. So it's exciting. All right, there we go. Now, isn't that pretty? Let me show you what the chicken egg rolls look like. They look fantastic. I hope they taste as good as they look. Okay, so I cooked Papa some chicken noodle soup because he wasn't feeling well. And I had extra noodles. So instead of throwing them away or just putting them in the refrigerator, I'm going to go ahead and make a dish with it. So I've heard it called lasagna guts. I've heard it just, spaghetti bake. So whatever you want to call it, that's what we're going to use. We're going to be using just some store-bought marinara sauce. I'm going to put a little bit of that on the bottom. And I've got my noodles here that are already cooked. My hands are clean. I've been in the kitchen all morning, so I've been cleaning and washing my hands as I go. So there wasn't a lot of these noodles left, so we're going to do just a simple little layer. I have some ricotta cheese here, and I'm just going to put some of that on here, just dollop it around. I really need to use this up. We'll spread this around. Let me put it back just a little bit so you can see. This is nothing special, but it is something to do with leftovers, and I think it's a great thing to have in the refrigerator. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so when we get back home, we're going to have plenty of stuff here to eat, and that is always wonderful. Now I've got some mozzarella cheese, and I'll add some of that. Probably the rest of that bag. so I don't have just a tablespoon in the refrigerator. That's the goal today, is to clean the refrigerator out as much as possible. I also have some sharp cheddar cheese, and I'm going to use some of that. And since I was making egg rolls, I went ahead and I opened a can of chicken, and I went ahead and made up some filling with the chicken to make the rest of the egg rolls. So I'm just going to use this canned chicken in this. Again, we're just trying to get, I don't want to put this in my refrigerator, a half a can of chicken. We're going to put a little more marinara sauce. The pan's getting full. That's okay. And we're going to put the rest of these spaghetti noodles right on top. And I'm going to pour just a little bit more marinara on this. We'll move it around. Can't find my hand towel. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of push this down in here. And then I'm going to top it with cheese, and I'm going to wrap it with some plastic wrap and then aluminum foil. And it'll be good to go. Whether we want to put this in the freezer or in the refrigerator, I'll probably just go ahead and put this one in the freezer and have one freezer meal, because we're going to have this whole pot of soup over here, and I think that's probably what we'll have tomorrow. Plus we have the egg rolls that I'm making, and I think that's going to be good. Now when I cook this, I will put it in another pan, set it down inside another pan, lined with foil, and that way it won't bubble over on me. So there we go. One more meal. I think this is a great way, guys, for us to have extra meals. I don't know how many meals today that we have made. We've made egg rolls, which I have to say, of all the egg rolls I made, only 3 are left. So that's why I decided to go ahead and make the chicken ones, and I'll get those egg roll wrappers out of my fridge. They'll be gone. I won't have to worry about it. If there's any filling left, I'll just put that in the freezer, and we won't have to worry about it. So I have my immersion blender, and I'm just going to blend these up. Super hot. Isn't this terrific? This is terrific because I was going to have to throw these blueberries away. All right. So in just a few minutes, we have taken things that we would probably had to throw away, and we have turned them into something that we can use every day this week. So here I have some blueberry, I don't know if you want to call this syrup or jelly or jam, or it's not jelly, but because it does have some of the fruit pieces in it. Now, I had some of these waffles from the store that I had bought from our granddaughter, and she didn't care for them too much. So we're going to use just a little bit of this to go over this. And I'm just going to put a lid on this and let it cool off. And we're going to have a bite of this and see how it tastes. It's very hot, so we got to be careful. Now remember, we're just really tasting the blueberry um, syrup mixture. Um, that's all I'm really going to give you a review on. Mmm. That's fantastic. Guys, that's fantastic. Mm. Let's try one more bite of that. Mm. So good. This is fantastic. So, this would be fantastic over biscuits, pancakes, waffles, any of that. And I am so glad I did that. I almost threw those blueberries away because they didn't look, nice enough for me just to eat as a snack. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. That has been something I really want to work on this year, is not wasting food. So, yay. That's good. Love that. Okay. Once again, the oven was beeping in the background. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't hear it. I apologize if it bothers you. I really do. But I just did not hear it at all. So, all right. So we have our egg roll made from the same filling that we made our uh, fried pies, which were a huge success. They didn't last any time around here. These have cooled off quite a bit. The filling is so good. Go back to that video. See how to make this filling. This filling is so good. And the wonton wrappers, I mean, it's so good. I don't know what else to say. It's just delicious. Mm. Are you kidding me? Seriously, are you kidding me? We made this from leftovers, guys. And it's so good. Wow. Mm. I hope that you will try this in your own kitchen. And when you see something in the refrigerator that has been in there a little longer than, you think, well, that's not optimal. Like the berries. The berries were still good. The filling I just made a couple of days ago. And so try to turn it into something else. Guys, this is a really great way to stretch your grocery budget and to get more out of what you have coming in every week. I did want to try, I wanted to show you a piece of this. This is what the hog jaw looked like. Now you can tell it doesn't look like regular bacon, but it is one of my favorites. Nice and crunchy. Still tastes so good. This would be super on a breakfast sandwich. This would be super just by itself with in a snack bowl or something. But there's so much that you can do with things that you would normally just toss. So Let's don't waste food, right? Papa gave me a big thumbs up for the chicken noodle soup, so I hope you will too. And don't forget to like and subscribe and do all the things. It really helps the growth of our channel, and we appreciate each and every one. Nana loves you. I hope you enjoyed spending some time with me in the kitchen today. I've enjoyed it. Remember, I do love you, and I'm so proud of you. If you got up today and you tried and you did something, even though you didn't feel like it, even though you may be dealing with depression or grief or any of those things, then I am so super proud of you. Remember, you always have a friend here, and I love you. Mwah. I'll see you on the next one.